Hey, this is Angie from Lil Dumplins Nursery, and I thought today I would do an impromptu unplugged type video. It's Tuesday and it's in the afternoon. It's 2:54 p.m. and this is one of my days off. I work Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for a chiropractor, and on Tuesdays and Fridays I work on the dolls in the nursery and other craft items, and I also take care of my family and do all that kind of stuff. So today I have ran several errands and taken care of a lot of personal business, so I thought that I would take this afternoon to just sit down with you guys and talk a little bit, show you a few little things I wanted to show you. And if anybody is out there listening and has time to log on and wants to come in and ask any questions, I'll answer any questions you might have. I see Debbie Henshaw has joined us. Hey Debbie, how are you doing? Hope everything's going good at your house. I saw you're getting your carpets cleaned today, so I hope that's working out really well for you. Hopefully other people would join us, but I know that this is a time of day when usually people are taking care of errands and that kind of thing, and a lot of people do work. So if you log on later tonight, this will be available on my webpage, and you can go back and watch and have a good laugh at all my nonsense. But anyway, I'm going to turn around for a minute and adjust my fan. I'm very hot-natured, and one thing about my nursery space here is that the airflow in here is not real good, so I have a fan on me at all times. Hi, Angie, I'm exhausted. I bet you are, Debbie. I know that you've been really busy. She's been painting and remodeling and getting ready for her mom to come and stay with her, and I know she's really excited about that. So a couple of things I wanted to show you guys. First of all, when we did our little live auction Sunday, I wanted to tell you how that went. The first airing, I was still working out some kinks, and I went back in and re-aired it. And I did wind up getting 2 bids on the Dumplins Junior baby, and so that baby has been paid for and sold. She was shipped this morning. I showed you some of the other babies I have here for sale in the nursery. I showed you Owen Francis and Nina. And I came home at lunch yesterday to find that one of my very good repeat customers had purchased Nina. She said she'd been watching, I'm sorry, not Nina, Owen Francis that I had as a girl. She'd been watching that one, and she had commented several times that she liked her, and so she decided to purchase that. And I'm just thrilled that that baby's going to her. So Nina is left, and Sookie is left. So I have 2 finished babies left in the nursery. So hopefully those sweethearts will find a home soon. I also showed you one of the little wooden rattles, the faux rattles that I've been making and have up for sale. And so I had that one auctioned off, and I actually did not get any auction bids, but I do have someone now who's claimed that rattle, so it's no longer available. But I have 3 left, so I want to show you these 3 right quick. And these are the little wooden faux rattles that I have made up. They're hand painted by me. Let's see, there we go. So this one has blue roses with yellow trim and green leaves. It's got a blue ribbon. It's got a little yellow in the middle and blue at the bottom. It's varnished with a little bit of gold burnishing on the handle to give it a little bit of an antique look. And the back of the rattle has my initials. So there's the little blue and yellow roses rattle. That could go for either boy or girl, really. And then I did 2. There's actually a boy and a girl version of these. Owls seem to be really popular with a lot of people right now, and my youngest daughter loves owls. So I saw these owl ribbons, and I thought, oh, I think I could paint owls that look like the ribbons. So this one is the blue owl, and the ribbon has actually gotten turned a little bit, but as you can see, you can turn it for adjusting it. So there we go. There's a little blue owl, and it's got owls on the ribbon, little blue dots. So that's the blue one, and then I also have a pink one. So there's the little pink owl, and it matches the pink owls on the ribbon, and it has little pink dots. And this is, there we go. Little pink dots on the back and the little signature. Hi Audrey, glad you joined. Glad to see you. So these are made out of wood, and the top part is a round solid wood ball, and then in the middle you got your wooden sculpted handle with a little wooden accent at the bottom. These are made for displaying in your doll nursery with your dolls. They don't make a noise. They're solid, so they don't have anything inside of them that rattles. They're not for children, and they're not for real babies at all. These are purely for adult display for doll collectors to use in their doll nurseries. If you had someone in your family that's having a baby and this might match something in their nursery and you wanted to give it to them for decorative purposes only, these would be lovely to put up on a little display shelf in a baby nursery just for appearance's sake. But you would not ever want to let the baby have these or play with these because they are not child safe at all. Alrighty. Hey, Audrey. Let's see who else we have. Caitlin Brady. Hey, Caitlin. How are you doing? Okay. And there's someone named Frank who has joined us who had a question, but I think I answered that. Okay. So a couple of things I wanted to show you. First thing is a matte varnish that was recommended on one of the chat boards I'm on, and I wanted to tell you that I had purchased this I don't know if you call it artisan or artisan. It's by Winsor Newton. It is a water mixable oil varnish, matte varnish. It has UV protection. And some of the ladies are using this to seal their air dry paints. I don't know if they've used it on Genesis or not. I don't see why it wouldn't work with Genesis. And the question might be in your mind, how do I use oil-based varnish if I'm using air dry paints? Air dry paints are an excellent ground or surface for an oil-based product. So you can paint a doll with an air dry paint and seal it with an oil-based varnish. Or you can paint a doll partially with air dry paints and then do some final touch-ups with oil-based varnish or oil-based paint, such as Genesis heat set paints. And that is why the Genesis heat set varnishes will stick to the air dry painted babies, and that will work fine as well. Now the thinking is that you don't want to go in reverse order, and you don't want to put air dry products on top of oil-based products. And for traditional oil-based products, that is true. Genesis is a little bit different in that because it is a heat set product, I have seen people use air dry products on top of Genesis and not have any issue. The main issue that you run into applying an air dry product over the top of an oil-based product is that typical traditional oil-based products take a very long time to cure, and if they're not fully cured, that oil and all is not fully cured, then the air dry products will peel off. But since Genesis is a heat set product and you immediately cure it completely, as long as it's properly and completely cured, then I have known, and I've even done it a little bit myself for touch up on dolls, I've actually been able to take an air dry paint such as the Reborn FX or the Baby FX and go over and touch up a Genesis painted baby, and it worked fine for me. So, but I knew my product was cured. So that's just a little side trail I got off on. But anyway, so I did test this oil-based varnish over air dry paints, and it works well. It sticks well. If you like a matte product that is dewy, that is matte with still a good bit of dewiness to it, then you would like this just fine. A couple of things I didn't like. Whoop, dropped it. A couple of things I did not like about it is that this product has a tendency to run. So I found that when you're applying it, like I'm used to applying it with a sponge wedge, I found that if you had too much on your sponge or a little dripped out, it would run on the vinyl. So it doesn't, because it is an oil-based product, it doesn't, it doesn't cure or dry to the touch very quickly like air dry products do. So you have to be careful about that, because then if you get little runs on it, that can mess up your finish. And even if it starts to run and you go back after you catch it and try to pounce over it, then that spot tends to go shiny. The other thing is that if you over pounce this, it loses its matteness. So I personally did not care for this product. It's not something I will ever use again. I used this out of this bottle. I did a test limb, and that was it. And I can't remember what I paid for this bottle. I think it was about $8 or something like that, and I ordered it off of Amazon. But anyway, I do know there are some ladies on Bountiful Baby who love this product and are using it, and if you like this product and you use it and you want my bottle and you're willing to pay for me to ship it to you, I will give you this bottle. So the first person who asks for it, you can have it. You just got to pay the shipping and get it to you. So just wanted to let you guys know that right quick. Let me see if I got any questions. Nope, nobody's asking any questions, so we're going to move right along. The other little thing I wanted to show you guys is that I do have an anatomically correct girl belly plate that is a Laura Lee Eagles belly plate, and this was meant to have gone out with Owen Francis that I made as a girl and sold. Now the customer that purchased Owen Francis did want Owen to remain dressed as Francis the girl, but this customer does not care for belly plates, and she said it will just wind up getting put in a drawer and not be used, so I don't want it. So I have this here. If anyone is wanting a really nicely painted belly plates, painted with air dry paints and sealed with Genesis varnish mixture, has the little string on the back to tie it around. So I will sell this for $20 shipped in the U.S. and that gets you a completely painted belly plate that is a Laura Lee Eagles belly plate that is ready to go for $20 shipped in the U.S. So the first person to ask me about that, you're welcome to purchase that from me. So let me set that aside. And let's see, I'm trying to keep up with any questions we have. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is painting resin babies. That's something that I painted one resin so far, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing it, and I love the baby. So, and I want to show you that. I've got her up here on a shelf. I purchased this baby from Izzy. And I've gotten so used to calling her Izzy, I can't even remember what her actual full name is. But this is the Tulip Sculpt. I've got a little light coming in on it there, so I don't know how it looks on your monitor, but there she is. And she's a solid resin piece. And when I purchased her, I got the blank baby, and I painted mine myself. And she's just really precious. I'll show you right there. She just fits right in my hand. I did not find her hard to paint at all. I did some research and I talked to some people, particularly Marita Winters, who was a great source of help to me about painting resin. And she basically told me that if you prime it and paint it with air dry paints and then seal it, that's pretty much it. At the time I was using Baby FX paints, and she said that she had used Baby FX paints on several resin sculpts and had had such good success with it. So that's how I painted this. And the product that I used to seal, and you can actually on resin use it to prime as well, is the Plaid Folk Art Outdoor Matte Sealer. Now some people do not like using, some people use this product on vinyl babies as well, some people don't. And it's not the one I'm using on vinyl right now, but I did find that I really liked using this product on the resin. It is completely and totally matte. It leaves a great finish, leaves a little bit of tooth so you can paint right over it and then seal the baby and with it as well. I've had that baby painted now for I guess it's been about a year, because Izzy came out with that sculpt about a year ago. In fact, I think she announced the other day that it had been a year. And haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. Nothing has faded, nothing has peeled. Of course, it's not like a reborn doll where you're handling it and cuddling it and dressing it and that kind of thing. But I've not had any issues with it at all. So if you want to paint a resin, that's a little plug for that. And you can use your, if you can see it, yeah, you can see it over here. Over here I have on my shelf, and it goes all the way back into the shelf deep, I have all my Baby FX paints. And then over here on this shelf, and it goes all the way back to the back deep, I have that shelf full of Reborn FX paints. So as you can see, I have a lot of choices in paints and colors, and then I have all kinds of mediums and whatnot to go with my paints as well. Either one of these two paints will work great on this baby. So what I recently got, actually I got this a while back, and I'm going to swap my glasses because I'm realizing I'm not able to see. I need my computer glasses for a minute so I can read. Thank you, Rachel. She said she loves it and loves the, I think she's talking about the Rattles, the work with the ribbons, she said. Let Marcella Robinson, do you paint ethnic babies? I do paint ethnic babies. I haven't mastered the art of the really dark skin babies. My babies tend to be anywhere from light skin to medium skin tone, more in the biracial family. I'll show you actually, I've got Sookie here. Let me get up to grab it. Now, since I don't have studio lighting set up today for this, since this was an impromptu video, so her coloring is gonna be a little washed out possibly on your, well, it's not too bad. So this is Sookie. She's an Asian, you could call her Asian biracial or dark Asian baby that I have painted. And she's painted with Baby FX paints. There you go. She has hand painted hair painted. All this is painted. I think the camera, I'm looking down because I've got my computer down right in front of me, so I'm trying to see what you guys are seeing to make sure I've got it in the camera right. There's her painted hair. So there's her hands. So that give you an idea of the kind of, this baby actually is for sale. I have marked her down to 300 plus shipping, and she has 3/4 arms and legs, and she could actually be a she or he. The clothing is kind of unisex. And if you go to my website or my Facebook page and look at the pictures are more true to color. They don't wash her out like the lighting that I have going on right here does. So anyway, I don't root hair, but every once in a blue moon. I'm having a lot of issues with tendonitis and trigger finger right here in my thumb and hand. So I haven't been able to do much rooting lately. Really haven't rooted for about a year now. If you want a baby that has painted hair, I can certainly do that. If you would prefer to purchase your baby bald and then when you get it, send it somewhere else to be rooted, we do that. If you want me to try to make you a baby and have it rooted by someone else, I can try that. I've done that a couple of times, and then of course you wind up paying the cost of my fees plus the cost of the person who roots the hair, and you have to wait out the time that it takes for me to get the head shipped out to be rooted and then sent back and that kind of thing. So most people I find either choose to have their babies with painted hair, or if they really want to have rooted hair and I can't do it, then they will get the babies bald and have them rooted by someone near them that they can get it done at their leisure and that kind of thing. So anyway, let me sit Miss Sookie down. So getting back to talking about resins, I found these a while back. Actually, I've had them a while, and I just haven't had the time to get to them. But I purchased 2 Resin Babies, and these are Adri Stoked babies. And the first one is Yorick, and these are limited editions. So there you can see is the certificate for Yorick. And they're pretty good size, and the baby comes in this really nice little box that has like a little bed in it that's cushioned. And I'm going to unwrap baby Yorick here for you and show him to you. There's the little bed, and the baby fits right down in the pouch on the bed. So that's baby Yorick, but they're just blushed. The creases are done, and that's it. And I purchased these with the intentions of going back and repainting them. So I wanted to pull him up closer to the camera here. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna come up under the bottom here. See right there, if you can see it from, I don't know how good it's showing up, but the way this baby was painted, he looks like he's got the measles. So it's not a great paint job. It's almost like they just took, whoever did it, and just took some blushing colored paint and took it on a sponge and just blotched it on, and that was pretty much it. And then of course there is some coloring in the creases and whatnot. So I've done some research on the safest way to strip these Resin Babies, and I found that there's several different products that will work, But from what I found, alcohol that is at least 90% works well, and that's what I read was the best product to use. Requires a little bit of elbow grease, and it also will not damage the resin. So there's a spot on this baby's back where I actually tried that, and I started doing that, and I don't know if you can see, but there you can see it starting to pull some of the paint off. So I started on that today on the baby's back, and where I did it was right in here. You can see right there that the baby's not got the little spots. So I've started working on it. So I'm going to be stripping this baby, repainting this baby. When it's completely finished, this baby will be for sale. So it will still have the limited edition paperwork and everything will all go with it. You'll get everything in the kit, but it will be an altered limited edition in the sense that it's going to be repainted and reborn, as to speak. But I think that once you see the finished product, it will be well worth it. So that one's Yorick. And as far as the size of this baby, he's pretty good size, as you can see right there. Let me get a ruler and measure him. So if I take, I want to get down out of the computer screen here. I hold this ruler right about here. I'll try laying it down, looking at it, and then I'll tell you what I'm seeing. Looks like about 9.5 inches laying down that way. So he's about 9.5 inches long. He is anatomically correct. Really pretty, really nice. As far as the resin goes, really pretty. It looks really nice, and it's really smooth. I've just recently gotten into resin in the last year, and the thing I like about resin is when you're looking at this size of a baby, it's not like a reborn baby in that you're going to be dressing it and redoing it a whole lot clothing wise and cuddling it. So I've seen them that were the size, the mini size babies. I've seen them done in a lot of people like the solid silicone, but I'm just really getting into the resin because you cannot get the detail of the sculpt. It just comes out so well in resin. You just don't get that in other mediums, I don't think. So the other one that I have is Jolie. Let's get it open. And these are like twins. So I got them both. Here's Jolie. And she's open-eyed, and her painting was actually a little bit better than his, but still not all that fabulous. So here she is. So she's more scrunched up, cuddled up, like that makes her legs are not stretched out. That's what I'm trying to say. Her eyes are painted, and probably what I will do when I strip and redo this baby is I will redo everything but the eyes. I'm not gonna, because the eyes look fine, so I think I'm just gonna redo everything around that, and I'm not gonna pull the eye paint out because they look really they did well on that. So there's Jolie. You can see her, but you see she's got the same blotchy, speckled look about her. So give me some time to work on these. I can't promise you that I won't fall in love with them and want to keep them. That is a bad thing about being a reborn artist, is then if you want to keep so many things. But my intentions are to sell these, so when I get them finished. So anyway, that is what I wanted to show you today, to give you an idea of something exciting, a little bit different that I might be working on in the near future. Let me check and see if I've got any other questions. Debbie had to go back to work. Bye, Debbie. I think she's already left us. And alrighty, that seems to be all the questions I've had so far. So anyway, that's pretty much this little unplugged edition of Lil Dumplins Nursery Live. I hope you guys have a great day, and feel free to write me, ask me any questions you may have. If you have any questions that I can help you with in your painting, I will certainly do my best to try to help you guys out. And as always, have fun with your dolls, and y'all have a great day. Thanks.